Section 8.3, question 6. A caravan is bought new for £15,000. Each year the caravan loses 10% of its value at the start of the year. In other words, we're depreciating by 10% year on year. Draw a graph to show the depreciation of the value of the caravan. Now I'm not told how many years to go up to, so I better read on and get some hints. It says use your graph to find first when the caravan is worth half of the price it had when it was new, and how much the caravan is worth after 10 years. I've got to go at least up to 10 years worth of calculations. Now I might go further just for the fun of it. Now look, essentially if I go price, that'll be like my Y, and my time would be like my X, won't it? So let's just take a look here. If I take my £15,000 and multiply by 90%, that shows straight away a 10% reduction, doesn't it? Now after 1 year, that's how much I'm going to lose. After 2 years, that's how much I'm going to lose, because I'm going to drop by 10%, then by 10% again. In other words, I'm worth 90% of my value, then 90% of my new value, and then 90% of my new value, and just keep going like that. So for the 3rd year, I'll be worth 0.90 power of 3, in my 4th year, etc. Do you see that? 0.90, don't need the 0 really, but I don't want you to be confused with 90% being expressed merely as 0.9. If I put 0.90, then you can see the 90 trapped in there somehow. Now keep going like this. My next job of course is to calculate these wonderful things. I may as well leave them here on the screen. That's 7 years of value, or rather value after 7 years. Now 8 years, and now 9 years, then 10 years. It does say use your graph to find the value of the caravan after 10 years. Well, I can calculate it directly, but I use the graph as well, and I know the coordinate I'm going to get will be exactly the answer I'm going to get right here, right now. So let's just take a couple more years, because I don't know how long it's going to take to get to half the value. So I just keep going like this, and I just plot it faithfully on my graph, which I have prepared on the other page. There it is. Then it should be fine. Let's go up to 12 years. If I need to do more, then what I'm going to do is obviously come back here and do some more calculations. Well, let's just fill in the answers now. Right, so 15,000 multiplied by 0.9, well, that's the power of 1. So there you go. After 1 year I'm worth 13,500. So 15,000 multiplied by 0.9 to the power of 2, that's 2 years. So I've got 12150. After 2 years I've dropped about £3,000. Let's just multiply it by 0.9 now as a repeated change. So 10,935. Multiply that by 0.9. 9,841 pounds and 50 pence. Times that by 0.9. So 48.5 times 0.9. 88. Let's just take a look. 8857. Now, can you notice that already the drop isn't so great year on year, because I'm working out 10% of a smaller number. When I subtract that, I end up with less of a drop. So let's just do this one. I'm sure it's not very exciting watching me calculate these things live in front of you. There we go. 7971. Obviously I can't plot these that accurately, so that's just to the nearest penny as well. Again, I'll do the best job I can, but within the limits that I've got. We've dropped below 7,000. 6457, not 647. 6457, and some pennies, 0.1 penny, times 0.9 again. Drop below 6,000 now. 58. I mean, this is teaching us that things go down in value, especially cars and vans and aeroplanes and all the rest of it. Look at that. After 10 years I'm worth £5,230 and 18 pence. Look at that. 10 years. I'm still dropping. After 11 years I'm 4707 spot 16, and after 12 years I'm £4,236 and 44p. And like I said, if I need to do some more, I'll come back and calculate some more. So right, I'm going to draw a graph now with all these points. So if you like, I'm going to plot 1 year 13,500, 2 years 12,150, and I keep flipping backwards and forwards and try and plot my graph as best I can. Right, let's just flip over. Well, what we got? After 0 years of age, I'm brand new, so I'm still worth £15,000. Now, a year in, 13,500. 1 year, 13,500. That's an easy one to plot. 2 years, 12,150. So 12. Oh, I can only go to what? 12,100 really. I can't do any better than that. So I call it 12,100. Can't get any more better than that. And then 10,900 after 3 years. 10,900, which is about there. See, it's still dropping very sharply, isn't it? 4 years, 9,800. Again, to the nearest 100 I'm working with. It's the best I can do. 5 years, 8857. I would call that 89. 89 is going to be there. Next one, 7971. I'll call that £8,000 after 6 years. Still dropping quite heavily, isn't it? 8 years, sorry, 7 years, 7174. So that'd be 72. It's about there. And then 8 years, 6457. So I'm going to call that 65 after 8 years. 6,500. Getting a bit of a curve now. Again, the rate at which it's depreciating is the same, but the difference is less each time. So next one, I've got 5.8 on 9 years. 5,800 is going to be just 100 below the 6,000. 10 years. 10 years is 5230. 52, so it's going to be 52 is about there. 11 years, going to be 4707, so it's 4,700. 4,700 there, and let's put the last one in and see what we get. Right, 4236, that's 42 after 12 years. Done. Alright, there we go, lovely little curve there. Next job is try not to ruin it by drawing it in roughly. Let's just have a little rough go there. Alright, let's connect the pen and wish me well. Oops. I've crashed. Oh no. Basically I stuck to the pad. Let's try it again. Just continue. Right, okay, I'm happy with that. Go back and see what they want us to do with it. They say use your graph to find the caravan when the caravan is worth half the price it paid for when new. Well, half of £15,000 is going to be 7,500, so let's just put that in then. Let's go red, 7,500, hit the line, come straight down. We'll try and read that, shall we? So we went across and down. What's that? That's 7 years right there. So I'm going to call that 6.2 years. I'm not going to convert it into months. 6.2 years, a little over 6 years. You've gone down to half your original value. So that's that. So 6.2 0.2 years. Now 0.2 of a year is going to be 0.2 times 12, which is going to be 2.4. So in other words, 6 years and 2.4 months. It's really messy. So 6.2 years is good enough. Let's see what the answer book says anyway. Oh, they make it after 6.5 years. Okay, well their curve was different to ours, but that's what I made it on the screen. You might make it more accurate when you're working on paper. Now use your graph to find how much the caravan is worth after 10 years. Well, I've done the calculation right there, so I know the value is going to be about that. So 10 years, but I've got to use my graph, so let's show the examiner what I'm doing with my graph. Let's go for that red there. No, let's go for black. So 10 years. Hit that point there exactly, turn left, and show the examiner what my brain did. I went up and I turned left. It's about 5,200, isn't it? But even though I've calculated it at 5230, never mind. So that's going to be £5,200 approximately. Alright, just check what they make it. They make it 5,200 exactly. About, they say about 5,200, sorry. So I'm happy with that. I'm more happy with this, of course, because it's a bang on accurate calculation. I'll stop there, then see what other questions are worthwhile doing.